Good morning to all of you. A warm welcome to our Zoom webinar organized by GMOA and Society for Health Research and Innovation. Today, our lecture is going to be on a non-medical topic but valuable on socio-economic aspect of our life, money versus life. Kindly mute your microphone and turn off the camera during the presentation and use the chat box to clear your doubts at the end of this session. Now, I would like to introduce today's speaker, Dr. Thenuwan Wickramasinghe, Financial Instructor of GMOA and a Senior Medical Officer, Cardiothoracic Intensive Care Unit at Sri Jawadhanapura General Hospital. Over to you, Dr. Thenuwan.
Sorry, there was some technical difficulty. Good morning, all of you. I think different topic today, an unclinical topic, different aspect I'm going to talk to you all. It was glad to see that I have been informed that there are about 180 plus people who have registered for the topic. And for the moment, there are 105 and counting. So just before starting the actual session, I will just, I don't think I need a formal introduction about me because most of the audience known to me, they know me because I have been active in this Facebook and the answering sessions, and I have conducted few e-code lectures for you all. And also I have delivered similar kind of lecture during the Good Intern program last year. During the lecture, I will just brief about myself to tell that, to compare myself with you all. For the time being, I'm not going to do a formal introduction. What I'm going to talk to you today is that being a doctor, being a medical profession, some of you may be senior to me, some of you may be parallel to me, and most of may be junior to me. Somehow, while talking to you all in different forums and while we are doing different discussions with all of you, the point that we have understood is that most of us are not stabilized in the aspect of finance. Although we draw a salary at one of the most highest salary grades in Sri Lankan salary scale, I'm not telling the highest, I'm not talking about the private sector, but if you talk about the government sector salary scales, which I am very fond of because I have been answering the things about the salaries for the people. So we are one of the highest salary drawing category in Sri Lankan government sector. Being that so, when we enter into the career, some of us may be having different commitments in our life. People may be have to look after parents. People may be have to look after their differently able kids. They may be having other commitment, whole lot of stuff. But still, we know that how much we are going to draw from our monthly salary. We have a rough idea that how much we are going to draw. And also we have a rough idea if we are married, how much of salary our spouse is going to draw. So we have a rough idea about our income when we start our career. We are not just blind and coming to this field and feel that is this the amount that we are drawing? It's not like that. We all know that how much we are drawing. We all know that how much our spouse are going to draw. And we all know that whether we have inheritance or not, whether we have something from our parents or not. Being knowing this, all those things, one of the main complaint of our doctors is that we can't save money. At the end of the month, once you draw the salary at 25th of each month, by 30th, half of the salary has been deducted for loans and another portion has gone for credit cards and other stuff. And day-to-day expenses are just coming. So at the end of the month, you are again burdened with a financial hurdle. So what I'm going to talk today is, as we all know our inputs, as we all know how much we are earning, if we can think about the expenses, if we can control our expenses, there is a whole lot of scope that we can save some amount of money. This is not the same, this is not similar for every one of you. I'm telling you that we are from different classes, we are having different type of families, and we are leading different level of life. Still, majority of us are having a similar condition in our life, similar commitments, similar responsibilities. So if we think that our input is 10, if we are confident that we are getting 10 every month, and if we are expensing, if we are spending 8 every month, there is no any argument that the amount we are going to save is only 2. So you know about the income. The only thing that you can control, that you can manage, is your output, the expenses that you are going to do during the month. So what I am going to talk about is how to manage your expenses, during your life, and while being managing these expenses and income, how to enjoy your life. I'm taking this word as enjoy because if you talk to 100 doctors, if you do a survey on 100 doctors, I'm pretty sure that majority of doctors are not enjoying their life. They are just living their life. I have personal experience with me because I've been working in 4 hospitals now. This is the 4th one I'm working. Sorry, 5th one. So in each hospital, I have different set of experience. Most of the people are running behind the life, running behind a salary, running behind some money and time, starting from 5:30 a.m. in the morning until 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at midnight, but they do not enjoy their life. That is one of the main reason why our doctors are not satisfied in their service. They just live their life. They just carry on with their commitments and responsibilities rather than enjoying their life. So what I want to emphasize today is, while doing a job, while drawing one of the most highest salary grades in Sri Lanka, telling that you can't save and telling that you can't enjoy with this salary, complaining that the amount you are earning is too low, complaining that the amount uh, that you are spending, that you can't spend as you want, it's just a myth. It's just a failure of your management. I'm not blaming any one of you. I'm not going to scold anyone. I'm not going to tell that you are doing wrong anything. But I want you to manage stuff more efficiently. And one of the most important thing I want to tell is, during this session, maybe 1 hour, maybe 1 hour and 15 minutes, I'm going to deliver you certain tips, certain things to do that you have to start from tomorrow. If you are going to start these things from next month onwards, telling that this is 9th of May, I'll just wait for another 21 days and I'll start from June, I'm pretty sure that it's not going to work. So don't wait till next month. You can start it from tomorrow. If you feel like this is very positive, if you feel like you have to do this and you will gain something from this one, you need to start from tomorrow. And I'm not telling that the figures, the stuff that I'm going to deliver here are valid for every one of you. This might different from your different, because you are from different families, different aspects, and you may be having different commitments. So you can adjust these things according to your need. You can just adjust what as I'm delivering, I'll tell you, you can adjust this stuff. But I'm going to talk 11 tips for you, 11 aspects that you have to consider on. If you can start from tomorrow, the results will not come from day after. You have to practice it at least for few months. If you can practice this for few months, and if you can do it in a really good way, in a very faithful way, because sometimes you can start the things and drop things out. You can just finish it off 2-3 days. You will feel this is not going to work. You can stop it. But if you think that this is going to work, the results won't come in next week. It will take at least 3 to 6 months for results to come. This is my personal experience, what I have done and what I have gained. So I will just elaborate you why I have been asked to come and deliver this session, why I have been chosen. So I will just explain that also. Then you can compare where are you with me. Okay, we'll just go into we'll start the things. I was reading certain literature last few days, and before this, the same kind of lecture I was delivering about 6 months back for the good interns. For that also, I was reading certain literature. Then I found that this frightening factor that in whole world, not only in Sri Lanka, if you compare different fields, the medical profession, the doctors are the worst financial managers out of the lot. So it might be a little bit of frightening factor, but we are the worst financial managers. Not only in Sri Lanka, comparing all the others in worldwide figures. There are a few statistics also, but I'm not going to give you the statistics because I don't want to make this session a boring one. I want this one to be a very interactive one, because previously I was talking to an audience of maybe 500 people, which was very interactive because they were interacting with me. I could ask questions, they could reply. But now I am speaking to this blank screen, which is a little bit odd for me, but still we have to adapt with the situation. So I'm not going to give you things that make things worse. So if you know that we are worst financial managers out of the lot, it is while claiming that we are one of the most highest IQ people in this field. So we are having the highest IQ, at least we claim that we have the highest IQ. While claiming that we have highest IQ, we are the worst financial managers. So where is the point that we have gone wrong? This is the important thing that we have to take to our mind. We have to plan things and deliver things. So where we have gone wrong is, I have read few articles, and certain Sri Lankan articles and certain international articles also. Even last night I was reading. It says that the most significant factor is, it is not the amount that we earn. As I told you previously, that I was preparing the background, it is not the amount that we earn, but the amount that we waste. There are a whole lot of money that we are wasting, that dragging out of us, that money that which we could have saved. So as we are worst managers, we can't keep our finance intact. So although we are earning a lot, we may be having our monthly salary from hospital and ministry, we may be having some other incomes, we may be doing extra private practices, we may be having money from our parents and family, we may be having money from our partners, we may be having different businesses out of this. Still, why we are worst financial managers is we are wasting a lot. So for this waste, I just want to find out why this waste is happening only in doctors. Because if you compare the parallel people who was with you in your school, with you in your class, maybe with your the neighbors of you, they don't waste as we do. So what is the reason? While reading Sri Lankan articles, I found two major reasons why we are wasting money, why we are not saving enough. The first reason I could find is, we the doctors have very high expectations compared to other fields, which we can control if we have a will. So expectations means that maybe your parallel person who was in with you school is satisfied with a ordinary house, ordinary vehicle, and ordinary shirt and ordinary jewelries. But being a doctor, being one of the highest salary drawing category in Sri Lanka, we just can't satisfy with these ordinary things. We have very high level of expectations. If you want to go and buy a car, some of the parallel people of you can't even afford for a car. They just travel by taxis and buses and all, although they wear a good attire and go for office every day and just having a presence looking and good outlet and having a good customer, although they are having like they are drawing a lower salary than us, and they are traveling in taxis and buses. But we can't tolerate that. We think that we need a vehicle, and the vehicle also should be a modern one or ultra modern one. So I got my vehicle during my post internship after completing internship. But nowadays when people are entering to the internship, the first ambition of them is to get a good car. I have signed these loan applications last few months for people for this GMOA People's Bank loan. I have been signing for that. So I have found that most of them are very junior people. While entering to the service, they just want to have this expectation fulfilled. So one is the main reason is we have high expectations. When we go to a wedding function, just imagine one of your same friend will be giving a gift of 2000 rupees, and you feel very bad to give a gift of 2000 rupees. You feel that your doctor කෙනෙක් වෙලත් 2000 එකක් දීලා මදි වගේ. So that is the thing that drains money out of you. I'm not telling that live poorly, go in a bicycle, foot bicycle, or nothing like that. We have to have a luxury life. That's true. We have to have a life with dignity. That's also true. But high expectation means high wastage. So if you can manage your expectations up to a level which is affordable for you, it is one of the main thing that you can save money. So this is the one reason why we are losing money from our end. Although we earn 10, we lose 8 because we have very high expectations. The second reason I found is that we enter into this service in very late life. If you compare the other fields of your friends who has done maths or commerce or arts or like that, they finish their A levels and it's stuff in 19 years of age or 20 years age of maximum. Then they follow up their degrees. Sometimes they go for masters and do PhDs also. And they finish things by 24, 25 maximum. And by 30 years, they are stable in their service. They are stable in their life because they have worked for 5 years, earned for 5 years, and they have a substantial savings with you. So they are just stable financially. But what happened to our doctors? We finished our A levels with same time as others, maybe 19 years, 20 years maximum. Sometimes people get repeated, that's true. And we wait for about 6 months or 1 year to get into the university faculty. Merit order delays, that stuff, this stuff, whole lot of wastage of time. And after that, we are following they claim that this is one of the highest, most difficult courses. We are doing a double degree in 5.5 years time, 5 years time. It drags into 5.5 years because of these campus problems, that strike, this strike, all the way. So we are finishing in 5.5 years. And what happened then is, then we have to wait for another 6 months or 1 year to get internship. So our degree is coupled with the internship. We can't just go and practice without internship. So we are compelled to work for another 1 year internship. And after 1 year internship also, you will be treated with the RHO, the intermediate position, until you become a preliminary grade medical officer. So the time gap in between these procedures, the wastage that we have to face in these procedures is a whole lot of time. So because of that, we enter into the earning field at the age of 30 or maybe 31, sometimes 29, 30, 31, we are starting early. So when you start earning at the age of 30, we have a very high urge to finish things quickly. We want to complete our house quickly. We want to buy a vehicle quickly. We want to start businesses. We have a whole lot of expectations in us, but we have less time. We start comparing ourselves with our colleagues and think that this fellow has completed his house, but I have just not started even. So I should do it quickly. This one is also my age. I am also same age. I don't have a vehicle yet, but this one is driving 2 vehicles. So I should buy at least one. So this urge to finish and complete things quickly drains money out of us. It is the second most important factor. There were about 30 factors I could go through, but I just got only these 2 factors to explain you why we are worst financial managers when comparing to other fields. So you have very high expectations, which you can control, and we enter into the service at a late age. So we have a different amount of urge than others to complete things quickly. So we get trapped in loans and credit cards and all those of financial hurdles because of this thing. So out of these two things, one is modifiable, the other one is non-modifiable. The first one, the expectations that we are having, that we can modify that one if we have the will. But the age of entering into the earning service is still not modifiable. But I have to tell you that our GMO is having discussions with the Education Ministry, and we are in an action plan to produce a medical officer, produce MBBS graduate at the age of 22 years. The Education Secretary and the government is very favorable on this point. So in future, this might get changed. But for the moment, it is like that. Okay, so this is why we are worse financial managers. This is why we are wasting a lot of money. So at the end of this session, I'm going to tell you how to save this wasting. So why I have been chosen for to deliver this lecture, I should thank the GM and Sri team also for choosing these points. I've been continuously delivering this type of non-medical stuff for you all. I will just brief about myself and I will tell what I have gained till today. So then you can compare yourself, what is your position comparing to me. You can think that some of you may be above me, some of you may be parallel to me, some of you may be lower than me. So I just don't want you to be inspired on me. I don't want you to be admired on me. So I want you to be a person that you can be inspired of. And I just want you to be a person who can be proud of yourself. Otherwise, just comparing myself and you, I'm not going to let you die. This is not a point to let you down. I just want you to think that how much you can do. Okay, this is a brief of me. I'm now 38 years of age, and I'm from a very middle class family. My father is a banker and mother is a retired teacher, actually retired principal. I'm a old royalist, although I've started my education from a small school in Kandana and came to Royal after scholarships at grade 6. And I have graduated from a foreign medical university. Now I have in service for 10 years and 10 plus is running. I started my internship at DGH Polonnaruwa, then moved to Valachen as MO Psychiatry, then at Gampole as SHO Pediatrics, then in Kandy as a medical officer at Coronary Care Unit, now at Sri Jayawardenepura Hospital as the Cardiothoracic Intensive Care Medical Officer, and most probably moving out of Jayawardenepura end of this year. So what is significant about me is I am not doing any private practice. Early in during my Valachena time, I have done a small PP, but I have just dropped that off. Now I am not doing any private practice, and I have not utilized any of my inheritance for my expenses. So whatever I have today, whatever I am, so having today is just earned by myself and small part from my partner, developed by myself and spent by myself, and most importantly, enjoyed by myself. So this is why I have been asked to come and deliver this session without doing private practice, without utilizing any of the inheritance. I have completed major 3 tasks that you may be planning to complete. So if we think about the ambitions we are having when we start our career, maybe O levels, A levels, at a time that we think about our future, if we concise the facts, what we want actually from our life, what we are expecting, what our parents are expecting, what the family and society expecting from us is, we can just shortlist that into 3 or 4 topics. The number one is we expect that we have to live in a reasonable house. We want to build a luxury house. So we expect somewhere to feel free, feel homely. I'm sure that you all know that who are staying in rented places and maybe some others places, parents places, or some brothers, sisters places, you don't feel that homely feeling as of your own house. That is the true fact. You have to have your own stuff. You have to bath from your own water to feel that you are homely. So we all have an ambition at a time of start earning to build a reasonably good house. Say that a luxury house for a doctor. And the second factor that we all expect is we want a reasonable vehicle. We want a good car. We want a good vehicle to travel on. And number three, third factor in Sri Lankan context is we want our kids to be well educated. So if any one of you can fulfill these three facts, if we have reached these three facts, I'm sure that we all can sleep peacefully at night. We don't feel bad if we can complete these three stuff. Number one is house, number two, good vehicle, and number three is reasonably good education for our kids. And if you start explaining these things, there may be 100 and 1,000 and 10,000 things that you want to fulfill in your life. But as a matter of fact, if you can fill these three things, I'm sure your burden is 90% gone. Your responsibility, your commitment is 90% gone. So at 38 years old and at a service of 10 years, I have completed two of these factors, and completing the third factor. The one is I have completed constructing a modern house. You may be explain this as a boasting part. I don't mind. You can think it as a boasting part, or you can take it as a motivation factor. That is up to you. So I have constructed a modern house at Aturugiriya, which area is about 4,400 square feet, 3-story house, and which cost about 225 lakhs for me. And I have a reasonable vehicle. I'm not telling very ultra luxury one, but I'm satisfied with. And I'm planning to upgrade that one in very recent future. So those two factors, I'm okay, I'm satisfied. And I have a 5.5 years old kid. So I've started educating him, and he's going to a reputed school. And I'm sure that I'll be doing the amount that I should do for him. I'm financially okay for that. While doing all those things, the best part is I have a substantial saving also with me for an emergency. I'm not going to tell you the figures. That might be frightening, or that might be, you maybe feel bad. So I feel I have completed these three things, and I'm having a reasonable amount of saving with me for an emergency. So the rest of things I'm going to do and I will be having will be bonus. Because the main three targets of life of every one of us is these three things. So that is why I have been asked to come and tell you how I have achieved this amount, how I have gone to these goals. What was the secret behind this? So before going into the facts, I have to tell that there is no any very hard things that I have done. There is no any aeronautical science or rocket stuff in here. No nanotechnology. This is simple stuff that you have to have in your mind. The main thing is you have to have a strong stuff inside you to reach these things. So I have given a short brief of me. So you can now compare where are you with my me. So you may be above me, you may be similar to me, you may be below me, you may have reached much higher goals than me, you may be in much lower position than me. So whatever it is, I want you to be a person who can admire on yourself. When you go to sleep at night, if you are happy about yourself, that is what I want. I'm pretty sure majority of you are not satisfied with you. You may be showing others, telling others, and verbally and in written, you may be telling that you have reached this stuff and you have done this, you have this postgraduate, I have this money, this vehicle, and you are maybe riding one of the luxurious thing. But still, if you ask from yourself, you know that you are not satisfied. So I want you to be satisfied on yourself. Okay. So this is what I explained you, what each of us want, a luxury house. I'll show you a small photo of my house if you want to have an idea. This is my house at Aturugiriya. About 1.5 years I have completed this one. Okay, so and luxury vehicle, that is what the second thing that we want, and good education for our kids. Right. So I'm going to tell you what is, if I ask what is life, what do you think about the life? How do you feel about the life is? About 141 people who are in the gathering will tell different 141 definitions of life. They will think, they will tell that this is the life that we want, and this is the life that we are having, and this should be the life that we expect. I was looking for a good definition for this life because I'm going to deliver the lecture on life and money, you know. So I just want to give you a reasonable definition of life. While searching for these definitions, I got a good one in Collins. So we all know that most of us have we have declared deaths in our wards and clinical setups, ETUs, ICUs, and everywhere. We have death confirmations we have done. So what we assess in death is we listen for heart sounds. We listen for breathing, auscultations. We feel for pulses. We look for pupils. And these are the signs of life that we are looking for. If these signs of life are absent, we just declare that this person is dead and done. But breathing, beating heart, pulsating pulses, central and peripheral cyanosis, are these the factors that we are going to determine about our life? Is this the true life? That is what I want to ask from you. Breathing and beating heart does not mean that is a life. The life should have different qualities and different facts they have to be fulfilled. It's to be called as a life. People, almost everyone who has born having a beating heart and a breathing lung and a pulsating pulses and constricting and this thing having a pupil. So every one of us having, even the animals and all those stuff are having these signs of life. But is it the life? That's what my question is. The way I look at this is that is not the life. You can either breathe or you can either live. So in Collins Dictionary, they say that the life is the quality which people, animal and plant have when they are not dead, and which objects and substance do not have. So just if you go through the wordings of this definition, there's a word called quality which people and animal and plants have. What we are lacking here is, what we are lacking as doctors is this quality. We have all the signs of living from the start until we die at age of 70 or 72, 75. We have the signs of life, but we don't have this quality of life. Most of our people, the problem is we don't have the quality. We don't enjoy our life. We just breathe and live. So what I'm going to tell you is, most of the complaint will be coming from you all is, we don't have time, we don't have money to enjoy. So just we are running behind the time and money to complete our commitments and responsibilities. This is the main complaint that we are having. So if you think that the life is a quality stuff, that you have to enjoy these things, if you have the will and urge, definitely you can. I have been doing, and I have seen people who are doing this. So this is what I just asked. The golden question is, are we living or just breathing? We can live or we can just breathe. The very significant factor, the Bob Marley was saying that some people feel the rain and others just get wet. So most of our doctors just get wet. They don't feel the rain. They don't feel the life. That is what I have. I am different from others. While earning, working, and doing all the stuff that you all are doing, I have a fair amount of time and fair amount of cost that I can spare for enjoyment also. So I want you all to feel the rain rather than just getting wet. Okay, I'm going to give you a small marketing concept It is a unique value proposition. That if you can think about this concept and if you can build up on this, this is the first theory that you have to think of. As I am reading for the master's degree in marketing aspect, I just want to tell you this one. The unique value proposition is, what do you mean by unique value proposition? It is what makes you different from others. The simple thing is that the unique UVP is what make you different from others and what make you superior from others. All of us are born with similar things and we are grown up in different cultures and families, and now we are come to a same field. We are working as medical professions, different grades, different ages and different unit, different part of the island. But what makes you superior from others is the unique value proposition. It doesn't come from birth. You have to develop it yourself. A unique value proposition you have to develop yourself. And the most important thing is, it is why should you be treated better than others? So you expect people to treat you in a different way. Every one of us, when you go to a society, when you are in the ward or when you are in the class or that thing, this thing, you expect people to treat you better. You expect some sort of respect from others. You expect some sort of gratitude from others. So this unique value proposition is the factor that should be inside you that make you different from others and make you superior, and why should you be treated better than others? So if you are financially stable, if you are enjoying your life, you have a UVP in you. So the thing that you have to develop is you should have a UVP inside you. You should think of UVP inside you. It might be anything. It may be your appearance, it may be your haircut, it may be your accent of talking, it may be the clothes that you are wearing, maybe the jewelries that you are thinking, maybe the way you think, maybe the way you talk and behave. Anything can be UVP. But what I'm going to tell you is the sustainable UVP should be the way you think, the way you perceive things, the way you deliver things, not the physical things that they are around you. So think about yourself and just have a note, what is the unique value proposition you have. Everyone should have a UVP inside you. If you have a UVP inside you, you can develop on that. So after finishing this one, just start think what is the UVP inside you. I don't want you to tell that one to anyone. Sometimes the UVP may be a very private thing that you can't tell anyone. Still, it's okay. But have that UVP inside you. And if you don't have a UVP, think about a UVP that you should have, you must have from tomorrow onwards. Right. This is the small example of UVP, why you are different, superior, and you should be differently treated, better treated than others. So are we earning enough? This is the golden question everyone is asking. Api hamba karano ඇතිද? Salary එක ඇතිද? Is it enough? If you compare with certain private sector managers and all, they may be earning 10 times, 20 times more than you. But 99% of Sri Lankan community is earning less than you. I'm pretty sure on that. And you can go with the statistics. So if we are not confident that we are earning enough, so can we save? So I'm going to show you a list of figures of mine. So don't go and tell these things outside because it is my personal figures. I'm going to tell you whether we are earning enough and whether we can save. Okay, this is a balance sheet of mine. If you can just read this one, the top part says my income and the bottom half says my expenses, the middle part, then lower part says the amount that I could save. The internship salary I drawed for 12 months, 28,000 per month, and I got about 3 lakhs from that one. I just want to tell you that at that time it was 28,000. Now you are earning much higher than this one. The intern salary is much comfortable now. So you can have much more than this. And post-intern salary, the running 11th year of my service. So if I average the amount I have drawn per month, it comes around 175,000. So when you calculate that one, it comes to 230 lakhs. Just imagine for 10 years, 230 lakhs. And my partner was working in People's Bank. Now she's resigned from there. She worked there for about 7-8 years. From her, I got about 48 lakhs, her savings. Actually, I have not utilized this money. She's having this with her, but that is one of the assets I have. And she had a saving for about 5 million with her. And the other letter P is I had a vehicle permit 5 years back, which I didn't utilize because I had a reasonable new vehicle at that time. So I gave it to one of my relation and I got 19 lakhs for that one. And the bank property loan, I got 30 lakhs. So this is the rough balance of my income for the last 11 years, 10 and a half years. So it comes to 380 good lakhs. Just imagine 380 lakhs. If you calculate yourself, I'm pretty sure that most of you have married to doctors and most of you are planning to marry a doctor. And maybe my wife has resigned now and she worked only for 8 years, 7-8 years, but your spouse may be working for lifetime and maybe may have drawn a much higher salary than this. So think how much you have earned for these 10 years. 380 lakhs. And the major expenses I had to go through, I had to construct the house as I told you, which cost me about roughly 200 lakhs and the vehicle 40. And most important part is the number 3 and number 4, the foreign tours. For the past 6.5 7 years, I have traveled to 6 countries, 6 different countries, with my family, which costed me about 10 lakhs. And local hotels, if I calculate, I have gone for 23 local hotels during last few years, and that cost me about 5 lakhs. So just imagine, after spending this much amount of money for recreation also, after completing a house, having a reasonable vehicle, the total expense was 255 lakhs. So I'm telling you that the amount that you could have saved is 125 lakhs just for 10 years, 125 lakhs. I'm pretty sure that your income is much higher than this because you have this intern salary is higher now. The spouse is working and the other incomes, maybe you may be doing private practice. There may be other incomes for you. So if you have managed this stuff well, definitely you could have saved amount more than this amount. If you are junior to me by 10 years, definitely you can save more than this. So that means 95,000 rupees per month for all other expenses, for your food, for your petrol and whatever it is you want, you have 95,000. So are you going to complain about this salary? Because if you go to a teacher and ask, I'm not going to let down the teacher's professions, your teacher's salary. But if you go and talk to them, a father being a teacher is drawing maybe 50,000 per month. They are also having 2-3 kids and they are doing education for that one and it's doing all the expenses as we do. Not at the level as we are, but still they are doing all those things. With 50,000 earning, total income. And we have 95,000 spared for us. And can't we save from this one? Do you need magic to save some amount from this money? I'm pretty sure that majority of you have not gone foreign tours, 6 tours or local hotels, 23 hotels during the 10 years service I am having. So you could have saved more. So what I want to show you here is these figures are not 100% accurate stuff, but there is no lies inside here. This is the gross factors I had and I had to spend. And this is the amount I could have saved. This is the amount I have for a month to save. So out of 95,000, you just calculate how much you want for your food and stuff for a month and how much you can save for a month. So this is the only problem is management. Financial management is the stuff that we are not doing. That is why we are wasting money. Okay, that's what I told you, the similar things. If married to a doctor and if you are doing private practice and if you have inherited assets from your parents and all, so you have more income and definitely you should be able to save more. So as I told you earlier, don't inspire on me, don't admire on me, but be a person that admiration can be done on yourself. Okay. I'm going to tell you 4 things that you should have in you. You should need to be inside you to be the person that I told you. If you want to be the person in your dreams, you definitely have to have these 4 facts. Not very difficult things, but these are the essential stuff. The number 1 is strong mind. That is essentially you should have that one. If you don't have a strong mind, if you think that if you are having a deviating mind, if you think that that person thinks right, I am wrong, if you have that inferior complex, you can't run this one. Better to log off and go if you don't have a strong mind, because you can't do it. You have to have a pretty strong mind. You have to have that. If you think something very positive one at night and in the morning when you wake up, you feel like you can't do this. So just don't try waste your stuff and energy. Just sleep and do your normal stuff. So have a strong mind. If you don't have a strong mind, think how you can have a strong mind. So brain power, your mind power, thinking capacity, the amount of the stuff you have inside your neurons is the fact of this. So strong mind you have to have. We claim that we are the highest IQ people in the Sri Lankan society. So we have completed one of the most difficult MBBS course, and we have completed the hardest period of internship. So definitely all of you have this strong mind if you have not destroyed that. So just think about that, what you had in your faculty time, what you had in your internship time. If you are not having that one now, you have iatrogenically destroyed that. So think about this thing. Number 1, strong mind is essential. Number 2 is you should comfort yourself rather than the others. Most of us, the problem is we try to comfort others. We don't want to comfort ourselves. We are thinking of other people's mind. Not about ourselves. Say that you are going to go and buy a phone. I'm not going to tell that to buy a cheap phone. You can buy a phone of your desire. You can go and select buy a phone. If you want to buy a phone of 100,000, go and buy it. But I am telling you, if you don't want to buy a phone of 100,000, don't do it because others are telling you. What we Sri Lankan people do, what we do is before we purchase something, we just get whole lot of opinions from all. We just go through the internet, search for things, and we ask from our colleagues, brothers, friends. Until we get soup of ideas, we ask for opinions, which will distract you from your true need. So if you are going to buy a phone, decide it yourself and make it a phone that comfort you. ෆෝන් එකක් ගන්න යනවා මම යන ගමන් ෆෝන් එකෙන් කෝල් එකක් දීලා යාළුවන්ගෙන් අහන්න එපා මම මේකක් ගන්න යන්නේ ගන්නද. Why should you ask that? If you are satisfied with yourself, if you are fine with your comfortability, if you think that this phone will suit you, it will deliver what you want, why you want the opinion of others? Why you are going to satisfy other people? They don't come and clear your debts. They don't come and clear your loans. They don't come and help you when you are in a financial hurdle. So if you want to buy, if you have a need, just go and buy for your need. Just don't try to satisfy others. This includes parents and guardians and adults and others also. They have a different aspect. They have a different feeling about you. They think that having a phone of 100,000 is good for you rather than a 35,000. That is their parentship, that is their adultship. But you should satisfy yourself, not the others. So if you buy things you do not need, soon you will have to sell things that you need. Just remember this quote. If you are going to buy the things that you don't need, you soon will be have to sell what you need. So number one, comfort yourself. Number two, comfort yourself, not the others. So number three is you should have a urge to feel the life. The thing that I was repeatedly telling from beginning, most of our people do not have this urge to feel the life. So they just breathe and live. They don't enjoy the life. So I'm pretty sure that with the environment that we are living, the things that we are eating and the things we are breathing and drinking, we are not going to live more than 70, 75 years. That is the simple factor. We are happy or not, that is a simple thing. So have you calculated this 70 years, how much we have gone and how much we have? 70 years means just 840 months. So 840 months. So we are going to live only 840 months from our birth. So you know how fast the month passed by. We get a salary of 25th of this month and next salary comes in very quick time. So month has gone. So 840 of them as a total. So with your age, just count how many remaining for you. So I'm 38 now. I'll be having 32 more. So more than half has gone. So just think, are we not going to feel the life? Are we not going to enjoy the life even now? Are we just going to breathe and live? That is my simple question. So calculate how many months you can live. 70 or 70. If you think you are going to live 90, just calculate as 90. But I'm calculating at 70. So 840 months, more than half gone. How much left? Are we going to breathe or are we going to live? So number 4 is you need to differentiate your needs and greeds. This is one of the major stuff that we are losing our money. We don't go behind our needs, we go behind our greeds. If you go to a shopping supermarket or shopping place or somewhere, there are three type of things. There are things that we need. There are things that we want. And there are things that we like. All these three stuffs are there in your shopping mall, wherever you go. Irida polakata giyat mecharai. And if you go to this uptown candy, it is same. You have all these three stuff. So there are needs, there are wants, and there are likes. So if you can't differentiate your need and greed, you will be trapped in financial issues. Once you get trapped if you get trapped this month, that trap will be dragged and dragged for years and years that you can't come out of that. So you have to differentiate your needs, wants, and likes. Think about this one. I'm not going to explain each word. So you also have to have some work at home now. So one thing I told you, the unique value proposition about you, you should have one. You should think about that thing and just calculate how many months that you have to live, you can live, and just differentiate the things that you need and that you are greed of. If you can differentiate these two things from each other, it will save you a lot of money. So this is a simple thing. The amount of water is not what is important. What is important is how much you need. Although you have 5 liters can, the amount that you need to satisfy your thirst is the need. The amount of water is not the fact. So when you go for shopping, when you go for buying, when you go for these stuff, think about the amount that you need, not the amount that is available. Okay, then I have given the stuff to think of, and I have delivered you the stuff that you should have in you, and I'm going to tell you 11 different points that you should gain inside you, that you should develop and you should think of and you should plan of. Number 1 factor. I don't want to explain this too much. No smoking and no alcohol. Please, if you have already smoking and alcohol consuming, please stop that one. As a medical profession, I don't have to tell about the adverse effects of these liver functions and lung pathologies and COVID pneumonia. I'm not going to describe. You know the stuff sometimes better than me. So stop that one. I'm not telling females are not smoking, females are not alcohol. I've gone through a lot of females who are consuming these things. So valid for both of you. Please stop this one. If you are not onto this one, please don't start. And number two, I just want all of you to start write all of your expenses and income. You maybe think that is a difficult task, but I'm going to tell you this does not cost you even 10 seconds per day. If you are getting used to this one, if you start writing it from today onwards, it will take only 10 seconds, which worth much more than that. You will save a lot of money with this one. Believe me, I'm not asking you to reduce any cost. I'm not telling you to cut any cost at the end of the day. You don't have to worry about any expense that you have done throughout the day, but just document what you have spent and how much you have earned. I'll show you that how I have written that one for an example. So this is how I have written what I have earned. If I go through from top, this is from the first my intern salary starting from July 2009. I have written all my expenses up to today. Sorry, income. I have written all the income here. If you come down, it is April 2021, that is last month's salary. Until that time, I have written my income. So this takes only 10 seconds. If you start writing today, the amount that you are going to earn every month when you get, if you have only the salary, that is simple as that. You can get the salary slip and document it. You have all kind of smartphones which you don't use for your benefits. So you may be going to write in a book, you may be going to enter in a computer, you may be going to enter in your phone, whatever it is. Don't lie yourself. Don't do that. If you're going to lie yourself, that will be end of this session. You no need of following this one. So be true to yourself, be faithful to yourself, and start writing your income. Starting from today. It will cost you maybe 30-40 rupees to get a small notebook and a pen. Keep it in somewhere. End of every day, just write it. You don't have to elaborate like that Cini, PT, Kiri. You don't have to write like that. You write, okay, keys, 2000 rupees. Laugh supermarket, petrol. I want you to write broad topics like that. If you start writing today, and at the end of month, if you just go through this one, you will understand how much you have earned and how much you have expenses. Both expenses and income. I showed you the income one. I'll show you the expenses also, how I am writing. But don't think that you have a memory power of that thing and you can write and at the weekend. You can't do that. You have to write it at least daily. At least daily at night. Just spend 10 seconds for this one. This is very important thing I am telling you. Out of these 11 tips, this is the one of the most important thing. Just start writing your incomes and expenses. I will show you the expense stuff also. This is how I write my expenses. If I go to October, September, I have from beginning, I can go like that. So I will show you the latest one. This is May 2020. This is how I have written. Cargills, food, dry fish. That is the way I am writing. This is my last month, what I have written. And then every day, most of us switch on the computer at least for once. And if you don't want to on the computer, just write it in your book. So these are the expenses that I have written throughout. I can show it until the end of the internship time. I have all expenses, all income I have. So just start writing. At the end of the day, you don't have to cut any cost. You don't have to limit any buying. Just write it. It will deliver you the results from the next month. If you start writing this month, the results will be from next month. Just start writing. Believe me and start writing. Okay. I showed you how I have written. Number 3 is you have to stop impulse expenses. This is also in Sri Lankan culture, marketing strategies is impulsive expenses is one of the most important thing that marketers are targeting. Because especially the female doctors are trapped into these impulse expenses. So sometimes these impulse expenses are burdening you more than your normal expenses. So I want you to stop impulse expenses. What impulse expenses means? The things that you feel like buying just now. You go to a shopping mall to buy something else and you come out with a different thing. Sometimes we go to a supermarket to buy a kilo of rice or sugar or maybe some vegetable, and we come out with certain 10 bulbs and all those stuff that we really don't want, and we have brought just because of the impulse. And these marketing people, they know how to drag you for these things. They put different kind of methods. You have seen that buy one get one, and if you buy two you will be having another one, and you have 50% off, and you will be granted a gift voucher when you go for 2,500 rupees, and if your bill value is more than this one, you will be given a chance to win a laptop. Whole lot of marketing strategies are there. So that is to trap you, and most of you go and just get trapped into that. You yourself go and jump into that trap. That is because you have this impulse feeling of buying. You have to stop this impulse feeling of buying. The first thing that you have to find is purchase that you need, not the things that you want. So find out the difference between need and want. You can Google and find out. There are a whole lot of journal articles even differentiating these two factors. And have a list of shopping. Don't go for shopping without a list. This is what I have been practicing for last many years. Every day when I'm going for a shop, even I don't have it from home, before getting out of my vehicle, I just write it down, at least in my hand. In my palm, I write it down. What I'm going to buy from inside. And unless I get a call from my home, unless I get a call from my kid or someone, at least may bring this one, I don't buy anything other than the list. So if you have a list, you know what is your requirement you have in your mind. Maybe once you are coming from home, your parents say, Puta make again, do arc again, they may be telling. Have that list. I'm not telling you to cut anything. I don't want you to limit anything. Buy what you need. So completing the list is must. So don't buy anything more than the list. Okay. Right. So impulse expenses, you have to stop. Purchase things that you need, not that you want. And shopping list is a must. And these are the stuff that below you see that things that you are being dragged off. The sales, discounts, buy one and get one, all those things, stuff. You get how many SMSs you are getting with these New Year and Christmas and festival seasons. How many offers that you are getting. That is because they love you. Is it so? That is their marketing strategy. So impulse expenses is one of the main money drainers of you. So please stop that. So this is the shopping decision guide that you have to have in your mind. If you can just go through this one, it will be beneficial for you. I'm not going to describe this one. This is a flow chart. So if you can afford, just go think about. If you can't afford, don't buy it. And if you can afford also, just think that, do I really need it now? Just go for that if it is really need only. The rest of the stuff you can read. I'm not going to explain. So impulse buying, one of the main money drainers, try to stop that one. Have a shopping list. Every time you go out for buy something, even for one thing, just have the thing written in your wherever you want. So number 4 is You have to pay your bills immediately. This is the one of the major thing that we don't do in your life. We collect bills to pay. අපි මාසේ අන්තිමට bill ගෙවන්න ඉන්නවා. We just get our phone bill, water bill, that bill, everything we collect, we go once and try to pay it. I have calculated the amount that we waste from this keeping the scheduling of this one. If you can pay the bills immediately, that will save you a lot more than you think. So just don't wait to end of the month, till end of the month. Pay your bills immediately. Once you get them, that you know that when your water bill comes, you know that when your electricity bill comes, which date of the month, and you have idea that when your mobile bill and this telephone bill, when it comes, you know that. And whenever it comes, just clear it off. Have a schedule with you, maybe in your phone, maybe in your computer, maybe in your diary, wherever it is. Every month, 7th, you are going to get the mobile bill. 8th, you will be paying that. I'll tell you how to pay also. And you are going to get the water bill on 24th. I'm going to clear it by 25th. Keep an entry on your diary. Keep an entry in your phone that you have to clear your bills immediately. Don't keep your bills to pay in next week. මම එළියට ගියාම ගෙවනවා. ලබන සතිය ඔක්කොම ටික එකතු කරලා එකට ගෙවනවා. That is absurd. Don't go for that. Just pay your bills immediately. Number 5 is online banking. This is one of the main thing that I want all you to switch over. Most of us don't utilize this very important facility that have been given by the banks to us. Nowadays, most of the banks give this free of charge. Some charge small amount. Even though they charge, it is really worth of having switching over to online banking. Why I am telling you this is, I have been using online banking since last 6 years. I have been using Sampath online banking, now BOC. And I have calculated the amount that I have saved because of this online banking. I told this in this last year Good Intern program also. You may be asked that how I calculated this one. It was a little bit complicated one. I don't want you to calculate this one. But for the last 6 years, switching over to online banking, I have saved around 350,000 rupees. Going into bank, staying in the queue, parking, the vehicle get damaged by scratches and all, the stress that we are having in the queue, the time we are wasting in these banks and all the stuff, ATMs and all, the time we are wasting on billing counters, the surcharges that banks and billing centers charge from us. All those, when you calculate all those stuff, it comes to 350,000, which is a lot of money. For me, 350,000 means a lot of money. So that means if you can switch over to online banking, you can do almost everything from online banking other than depositing and withdrawing. Everything you can do now. So I pay my all bills by online banking, my credit cards by online banking. And whenever I want to give some money to any other commitment, I transfer money through online banking. True that there is a charge about 30 rupees to transfer other banks, but it saves 10 times more than 30 rupees for you if you start online banking from today. So just think about this one, switch out to online. It will save you much, much, much more than you think. So that is the 5th point I want to tell you. The amount I saved is true facts. I have calculated there are calculators. If you go to calculator.net website, there is a calculator that you can put for the time, for the stress, the amount of queuing time, amount of waiting, all those stuff you can enter, and you can get a monetary value of that amount. So just go and calculate if you want, if you really want. But I don't want you to do that, but it saves a lot of money. That is what I told you, how much you can save. So number 6 is credit cards. So credit card is one of the major things that drains money out of us. Most of us get credit cards because we think that we can use it in an emergency. That is why we are taking credit card. But after you get one to your hand, you are not using it for any emergency. You use it to cover up your additional expenses than your monthly salary. This is where you start draining money out of you. So you should not get any credit card if you are not confident about yourself. If you think that I am not confident, I am not having that much strong mind with you, my mind is weak, I can't handle this one appropriately, please don't go for credit cards. Because I have friends who are using 2-3 credit cards, and what they do is they clear their credit card from this month's salary and they use the credit cards for next month's expenses. And this rollout going for months and months, credit cards gets accumulated, they are paying interest, they are paying all the money that they are earning for these credit card settlements. And after 6-7 months, they feel that this is not going to work. They go for a bank loan, they clear the credit card from bank loan and start clearing the bank loan for 15 years starting from that day. So please, if you are going to get a credit card for emergency, don't go get it, because you are not going to use your credit card that emergency. You are just going to use that credit card for your ordinary expenses, which you should not afford. So if you really want to get a credit card to get benefit out of that. There are a whole lot of benefits of credit cards. If you want to get those offers, get a credit card, but don't get it for an emergency. That is why I am telling. I have 4 credit cards with me. I have been using these credit cards for Sampath one I have been using 8 years. HSBC one now 2.5 years. BOC and Celana I am using. Up to now, for the last 8 years, I have not paid a single cent as an interest for these credit cards. Not a single cent. So banks expect us to earn. Bank expects to earn from our credit card. They are not giving credit cards because they care of us. They just give credit card because they want to earn from them. But I have not paid a single cent for credit cards as an interest. But I have taken many benefits out of credit cards. The 23 hotel offers that I told you, the 23 hotels that I have gone to, that all are credit card offers. 50%, 60% that. And whenever the supermarkets are having credit card offers, I just grab that. But I have my schedule to settle it in time without paying any interest. So I'm telling you, if you have that feeling of that you can manage yourself, go for a card, but keep in your mind, don't pay any cent as interest to the bank. That superior complex, that confidence that you should have that with you. Otherwise, forget credit cards. That is the best thing that you can do. Next thing is loans. I'm pretty sure that 99% of you have taken some sort of loan in your lifetime. I also had taken one. I have paid more than 75% of now the 30 lakhs I took as the property loan from the government servant property loan, very low interest rate. I had to take that one to build my house. But I'm pretty sure all of you have taken. But I'm going to tell you the amount of money that banks are draining from out of you because of this loan. When you are going to get a loan, what you are thinking is the amount that you are going to get, the interest rate, and the payback period. That is what you are considered of. You are thinking that, okay, I'm going to take 10 lakhs, I'm going to pay in 7 years, interest rate lowest is 8% to 8.5, so I'm going to go for that. The bank is offering 10, other one is 9, other 8, you are going for the lowest interest rate. But have you ever calculated the total amount of money you are paying as interest to the bank? If you have calculated that one, you will understand the actual amount that you are paying to the bank is not 8%. So we think that 8% is very low, comparing a single figure number, very low amount. So we go for loans in very low threshold. We don't find many other alternatives. I know that we can't just do everything from our salary. We have to go for loans. But do we take essential loans only? That's the question that I'm asking. We are taking loans. Some of my friends have taken loans because the interest rate is low. Actually, they don't want that loan. They have taken the loan and deposited in the fixed deposit. I don't know whether this audience is also having those friends. Some of them may be having there. If I name them, they will be here maybe. They have taken loans for our interest rate lower 8%, and they have deposited in the bank saying that I'm getting 9% fixed deposit rate. So do you think that it is beneficial for you? If I give a simple calculation for you, whether it is actually worth or not, say that you are going to get 20 lakhs from bank, you are going to pay in 7 years, and the lowest market interest rate is 8 these days, say 8%. So you are going to pay 31,173 per month. And the total amount that you are paying is 26 lakhs. You have taken 20 lakhs and you are paying 6 lakhs, more than 6 lakhs as your interest. So is it worth? So is it 8%? Is it actually 24% of your capital amount? So just calculate the amount, the interest that you are going to pay, the amount, the loan that you are having already existing loans. If you have 20 lakhs taken for 7 years at 8%, 24% of the capital amount you are paying as interest. So is it worth? That is my golden question. You are paying 1/4 of your loan amount as the interest. So that simple meaning is, although you have taken 20 lakhs from bank, it is like 1/4 is you are paying more 1/4 more than that to the bank. It's like you have taken only 14 lakhs, but you are paying for 20 lakhs. So if you want to go for an essential loan, go for that one. You have to go for the least payback period. Take the least amount that you can go for. If it is 3 years, clear it off from 3 years. Don't go for 5 years thinking that මට මාසෙකට ගෙවන්න වෙන්නේ පොඩ්ඩයිනේ කියලා. Don't go for 5 years. If you can afford the amount, clear it off as soon as possible. The amount that you are going to pay as interest will be low if your payback period is low. And go only for essential loans. Number 8 is, the worst thing that we are doing is we don't use our smartphone smartly. We do all the gossip stuff in smartphone. If you name one thing, if I name whatever the app you have in your phone, you are using it for some other purpose than what is intended for. So use your smartphone smartly. Keep your reminders update in your smartphone. Use your calendar and reminder for the benefit of yours, for your benefit. I mean, I told you that credit card payments, bill payments, and scheduling, shopping list, everything can be done, and writing expenses, writing income, everything you can done from your smartphone nowadays. Although you all have one, you don't utilize it. I'll just show you a screenshot of my smartphone calendar. So this is it. I think you can read it. So there are a whole lot of payment dates I have entered here. HSBC card, Ceylon card, Sampath card, Dialog bill payment, and electricity bill payment. All those stuff are here. So if you can manage your mobile phone in a smarter way than you using at the moment, definitely it will benefit you. Definitely it will guide you, and definitely you will save more than you think. Okay. The number 9 is, I want you all to have a bank account without an ATM card. You know that most of the bank nowadays offer these documentless accounts. So if you have an account, you have to utilize that properly. And if you don't have one, open one maybe tomorrow, day after, on Monday. This will save you a lot of money. What I am doing is, every month on 24th, before I get the next month's salary, the balance I have in my account, I transfer this to this ATM cardless account. So that money saves there, and until if I really want, I can go and get it, but I am not going to use that money for my day-to-day expenses. If you have a card, you just can't control that. And when you see a ATM, you just go and withdraw that amount. You can't control yourself. But if you don't have a card with you, if you have to go to the counter, stay in the queue, show your identity card and get it, it takes some time and it will control you. So I want you to open an account. It will be a 5 minutes duty, 5 minutes stuff. It don't cost you anything. If you have internet banking, it doesn't cost you anything at all. Please open an account. Whatever the savings you have, transfer to that account and keep it there. The most of our doctors, what they are telling is, that is the main complaint. So that the complaint should, that the problem is not from your earning. The problem is the way you manage stuff, the way you look at those things, the way your perception is the problem. So start an account without an ATM card. Whatever the amount that you have at the moment you are getting the new salary, transfer that to that account. Don't look at that account again until the next month. So this is very practical one, what I have done, and I have very good results of this one. And number 10 is, I want you to go for installment plans whenever and wherever it's available. Why I'm telling you this, there are a whole lot of installment schemes are having 0% interest, which we don't utilize. Say that we want to go and buy a laptop. And if you want to go and buy a laptop, if you have money in that, the said account I told you, if you have money in that ATM cardless account, say you have 2 lakhs, the laptop is 150,000. You withdraw 150,000 and go and buy the laptop. What I'm telling is, if you have the benefit of having installment plan 0% one, go for that one rather than paying your own money. Why I am telling you this is, in marketing, in strategic management, there is a concept called time value of money. The time value of money means the amount of money you have today is much, much worth than the money you may be having after 1 year's time. So the money you have today values more than the money you are going to have in 6 months' time. The same amount. Say that you are having 2 lakhs now in your account, and you are going to have 2 lakhs in your account after 6 months. So these two values different. The money you have today values more. That is because there is a depreciation of money every day, and today's money you can invest and earn more. Because of these two factors, there is a time value for this money. So because of this, if you have the facility of utilizing installment plans, if you can go for 0% installments, please go for that rather than spending from your own money. This is the time value of money. I told you, keep this in your mind. The first one I told you about the unique value proposition, and now I am telling you about the time value of money. So that money you have now is worth more than the identical sum in the future due to its potential earning capacity. Keep this in your mind. Just don't go for full amount payment if you can go for installment payments. The last one, the last point I'm going to tell you is the debt elimination. Almost all of us have some sort of debt with us. You have to have a debt elimination plan. You have to, this may be different from people to people. This is very subjective stuff. You may be not having the total capacity to go clear off this debt in next month. Even I don't have. I have a 30 lakhs loan that I have completed about 75% of now, and I am having a plan when I am going to finish that. So whatever the debt you are having, please have an elimination plan. Please have it written somewhere. So when you are going to clear off your debts, when you are going to eliminate this stuff, how you are going to eliminate and how long you will be clear of these debts. So these are the 11 things I want you to practice starting from tomorrow itself, no, at least today itself, not tomorrow. Start it from today, and I guarantee that you will have results, not in next week, not in days time, not hours, not days, but if you practice these things for 3 to 6 months, definitely you will have results. It is what I had. So I'm asking you to practice these things. So if you have a financial stability, what you will gain is, this is also another strategic management and marketing point I'm going to tell. You will have a competitive advantage. You will have a competitive advantage. What competitive advantage is? It is the ability to outperform your competitors. We all have competitors in your field, out of your field, at your home, neighbors, relations, wherever you go, we only have competitors. We are thinking, no, that is what you say. But inside you, we all are competitors. We all are trying to compete with others. So the competitive advantage is the ability to outperform your competitors, which you will gain if you have a financial stability. The most important thing is you can get a competitive advantage. You can gain a competitive advantage, but sustaining this competitive advantage is the difficult thing. So you have to have a plan. You have to have those 11 tips with you. The 4 things I told you earlier, the things that you should have it with you, and 11 planning points. If you have all those things, you can have a sustainable competitive advantage with you, which you will be treated better. You will feel superior. You will feel different than the others in your society. So that is what I wanted to tell you. I think 1 hour and almost 1.5 hours gone. This is the sustainable competitive advantage, the amount that you are going to gain more than others. That's all I am going to talk to you today. I think lecture session was not boring for you all. Maybe you have gained something. So if you have any concerns and you want to clarify anything, you can type it in your chat box. You can come up with the questions you want. Few minutes I can give for that one. Thank you very much. And I should thank GMO and the Shri team and the organizers of this session for inviting me and giving me the chance to deliver this thing. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Dr. Thenuwan, for that excellent presentation. We are glad to have more than 140 participants for today's session. And it's time to enlighten few queries. If you have any questions, please write it in the chat box. We'll clear your doubts. So we have a question, Dr. Thenuwan. What would you advise on a health insurance for doctors and their family? And what is the ideal time to engage with that?
Yeah, this is a very subjective thing, this insurance thing. I was talking with Dr. Haritha and Dr. Prasad also last Thursday about this insurance stuff. My personal opinion is, this is my personal opinion, this might differ from your level of expectancy and the commitments and the level of your health. What my personal experience and opinion is, rather than going for insurance plans, the government has offered you this Agrahara plan. You have this golden package and you have this normal package, and you are compelled to contribute for that one. It is compulsory. So when you have that thing in with you, I don't advise you to go for any sort of health insurance, because I think my personal experience, when I'm calculating the amount that we are paying for health insurance, most of the insurance now comes with the investment plan or retirement plan. So insurance companies doesn't offer these things because they don't care about you, because they care about you. They just want to earn from you. And if you have the plan I told you, if you can follow up those 11 things, and if you have those 4 stuffs inside you, if you can save in that way, the amount of money you can have for your emergency, have for your health concern, have for your retirement benefit, have for your investment plan will be much, much higher than the amount that the insurance companies are going to offer you. I'll tell you as personal experience, 1 minute's time. One of my friend's father, very good friend's father, had 4 health insurances, 4 different companies. I'm not going to name them. They and that father passed away due to bowel CA. Once they passed, they pay the children and the wife wanted to get the claim for that insurance. And the amount of stress, amount of time, amount of money they had to waste on this to get this claim is very unreasonable. At the end of the day, the insurance companies asked for everything other than the dead body. They want 100 documents, which these people had to go behind everyone, have to collect, have to get signature, that person, this person. At the end of the day, they didn't get the full claim also. So my personal opinion is health insurance is not worth, as we have been provided with this Agrahara thing. I know that some of you may be have entitled already. You may be paying subscription and you may be have paid. I am not going to let you down. That is your personal subjective decision. But my personal thing is, I am not advising anyone to go for health insurance.
Thank you for the great explanation, Dr. Thenuwan. Please stay on with us. We have few more queries. I think you have already discussed about this. What about the loan rental with interest? And also one more question, what about taxes? Some people are getting loans to avoid taxes. I'll repeat the questions again, Dr. Thenuwan.
Yeah.
What about the taxes? Some people are getting loans to avoid taxes.
Yeah, the tax. We had a separate session for tax. I think I am also into this tax topic. That then I take to tell you these things. The taxable income calculation is a different method. The taxable income is calculated in a different way. What the loan do here is, when you are paying an interest amount for a loan, say that you have taken the property loan, government property loan, and you are paying 10,000 per month as an interest for this government property loan. So your total taxable income, say that you have to pay tax 30,000 per year. The amount that you have paid as interest to the bank in your government property loan, you can deduct that one from your tax. You can deduct that amount to calculate your taxable income. So that is the theory behind this. So people are not getting loans to avoid taxes. People think that when we get a loan of this amount, we can utilize that amount for something, maybe house or vehicle or some other thing. In the meantime, the interest we are paying can be deducted from our taxable income. That is the way they think. But if you are taking a loan, not because that is essential, it is not worth at all. The loan amount of interest that you are paying and the relief that you are going to get from your taxable income has very huge gap. So don't go for loans to avoid taxes. If you are essentially getting a loan for one of your commitments, then you can utilize that interest amount to deduct your taxable income.
Thank you, Dr. Thenuwan. We have few more queries if you can explain again. What about buying stocks? Can you elaborate?
Yeah, stock market investment, that people have different plans on their investments. I just deliberately omitted this topic from this session because it takes a time consuming one. What I want to tell you is stock market investment is good when the economy of a country is stable. If you can predict for another 1 year's time that the economy of the country is going to be stable for 1 year's time, investing in stock market is good. But keep in mind, you have to have a good track. You have to track the stock market carefully. You have to trace it every day. You have to be very updated to buy things and sell things whenever the time comes. Sometimes the stock market changes within hours, within minutes, it gets changes. So if you have time and if you have the commitment to be on track, be with the stock market, And if you are confident that the stock market, the economy of the relevant country, you are talking about Sri Lankan stock market, no? If you are confident now, the Sri Lankan economy is going to grow, at least keep stable for another 1 year, 6 months, 2 years time, investing in stock market is okay. But I am going to tell you, you have to have a good financial advisor for this, stock advisor. And you have to have a very confident and very faithful broking agent. Because sometimes people, when they know that you are not very familiar with stock broking and this stuff, you are not very updated, they just ignore you and they go for their high demand people. So if you have a very good and confident stockbroker, and if you are having a confident on the economy of the country, and if you can put some time and effort on that one, stock marketing is okay.
Thank you so much. One more query about, is there any place for FDs in financial stability?
The thing is that fixed deposits were good investments about 6 months, 1 year back. People were used to save their money in FDs. But if you think about the current context, at the moment, the FD rates are almost single figures. So if you think about 6 months FD rates in any bank, it is around 4.5 maximum. So the amount that you are going to get in 6 months time is 4.5% of interest. If you calculate the depreciation with that, the actual amount that you are going to gain after 6 months is very, very low, which is not worth. So you are saving 10 lakhs in a FD account, expecting 4.5 in 6 months. It is not worth at all. But as a saving method, for the purpose of saving, not for the earning, but for the saving, to get for an emergency, that if you buy a land with 20 lakhs, you can't mobilize that one and get money out of that land in 1 week's time. It takes maybe 2-3 weeks time to put an advertisement, to find a buyer, go through a broker, sell that one and get my takes time. So your emergency, maybe you can't wait for that one. So for that purpose, if you want to save, FD is okay. But as an investment matter, FD is not worth these days.
Thank you so much. A few more queries, Dr. Thenuwan. There are a lot of apps to manage expenses, and is it okay to use a mobile phone application to manage?
Yes, definitely you can use these mobile apps, expenses and budget management apps, income and earning apps. There are a lot of things, but I want you to be simple as possible. So if you have a simple app that you are fond of and that you are used to doing that if we are familiar with, it's okay. But if it takes 2 minutes to load the app, and if it takes another 2 minutes to enter it, and it takes another 2 minutes to save that and come out, it is not worth. So if you have an app and if you have this budget management tool with your phone, which is very simple one, which is very easily, what you can do it very easily, that is fine. But make it simple as possible, because when time goes on, you will do it for 1 week, 2 weeks. If it is a difficult task, if it is a time consuming, if you have to wait until data comes and Wi-Fi gets to your connection, you will drop it out. You will just go from that one. So if you have a simple way, if you can write it in a notepad of the phone, that is fine. I don't want you to have a very sophisticated one. But if you are familiar with that, it's okay.
Few more queries, Dr. Thenuwan. Can you please explain how to maintain an emergency fund?
Yeah, that's what I told you. Open an account without an ATM card. So what I do is, from the intern time, this is what I did. At that time, there was no bank accounts. I could not open any bank account without a passbook and without an ATM card. But nowadays you can. At that time, what I did was I opened an account in the commercial bank, the different account. I kept that passbook and ATM card at my home in Kandana. I was working in Polonnaruwa. So I can't withdraw money in that second account. So what I do is, I just transfer the amount that I have in my account to that secret account. You may name it any other way. So I have that emergency funding in there. So once it grows to 1 lakh or 2 lakhs, I just put a FD on the same bank for the purpose of saving, for the purpose of taking it for an emergency, not for an emergency investment plan. Because you can't use FDs as an investment plan these days, as I told you earlier. But to prepare an emergency fund, you can, sometimes people do දවසකට 5 ගාන එකතු කරනවා, මාසෙකට 1000 ගාන එකතු කරනවා. ඕක මාස දෙකක්වත් දවස් දෙකක් දවස් තුනක් කරනකොට we can't continue that one. But if we have a habit of transferring the amount of money we have in our account on 24th of every month, we keep a reminder in our phone and we transfer that amount to the account that we can't withdraw easily, that will remain there as an emergency fund. But emergency fund means not to Sinhala Urudu, not to birthdays, not for Christmas, not for weddings, not to buy that thing and not that. You have to define what is an emergency. That is very subjective thing. It is emergency for me, maybe not an emergency for you, but not for ordinary buyings. It should be for only for emergency purposes.
Thank you so much for that great explanation. And a few more queries, all the same questions from our participants, like how about buying gold, buying currencies and investing on Bitcoins?
Yeah, these are newer topics that people are interested of. Bitcoins, buying gold and investing on solar systems. These are new things that people are nowadays investing on solar also, because CEB is paying 22 rupees per unit for 7 years and 15 rupees per unit for the next 15 years. So people are interested in investing in solar. They have their space on your rooftop, so they use that. And sometimes people are investing on Bitcoins and some virtual currencies. They buy virtual currencies. And some people wanted to buy gold and keep themselves. These different investing plans, I can't tell that this one is better than that one, because that differs from each people to people. Sometimes I may be a person who want confident on my investment, the amount I spend. That confidence, some people want that one, but some people want to take a risk and do it. Some people just freely do it, they're taking a risk. So Bitcoins, virtual currencies, gold, investing on solar panels, and there are a lot of companies that offering that tree cultivations and plantation, all those stuff are also there. But whatever you do, whatever you invest your hard-earned money, get an advice from an expert on that field. That is my opinion, that if you want to start invest on a solar, get an idea from a person who has already invested. Go for a reputed company. Talk with them. Ask them what is the best option you have, the amount that you are going to spend and that amount that you are going to gain. How long that you are going to be confident that they will give a warranty period for you. That is same for the Bitcoins and virtual currencies. If you are going to go for one of them, talk with the expert who has been in that field for a period of time, and you have confidence that he will not lie you. And last few days that we heard that certain doctors and certain engineers and high profile people engaged in this pyramidal stuff, and CID had arrested few of them. They have carried out their operations in Srangila, very high class office and all. Most of the people who have invested on that company are very high profile, educated, high IQ professional people. So don't get trapped into those places thinking that you can earn fast, you will be rich quickly, but talk to a person who was on that field for a long time, who has gained that profit from there, and who can give you an expert opinion.
Thank you again. Last questions from our participant. What about depositing in your parents' accounts as a senior citizens for FDs?
The thing is that senior citizen FD rates are high. I agree with you. Above 65 years of age, that is, we are paying that higher interest rates only up to 1.5 million rupees. 15 lakhs, they are paying a higher interest rate. After that, the normal interest rate. So if you have the opportunity to deposit in your parents' account, parents' name, and gain a higher salary for the first 15 lakhs, that is okay, go for that one. But I want yourself to start thinking about a way of you, because your parents, they will, some of you may having both parents, some of you may be having one parent, some of you may not having anyone. So I can't generally tell that if depositing in parents account is worth, but if you have the opportunity, do it for the 15 lakhs. But think of a plan which is more sustainable for you, which is more sustainable for yourself, which can be withdrawn, it can be deposited yourself and can be withdrawn for yourself. But if you have the opportunity for go for this FDs account, senior citizen account, higher interest rate, go for that one. But I'm telling you, government is not going to offer this higher interest rate forever. They will change it time to time. Today it may be 15%, today it may be for 15 lakhs, and next budget they will deduct it to 4% easily. No one can go and complain. So I want you to think of a plan which is more sustainable than that.
Thank you very much, Dr. Thenuwan. I would like to thank again Dr. Thenuwan Wickramasinghe for his excellent and elaborative presentation on behalf of the GMOA and Society for Health Research and Innovation. Also, we would like to present a token of appreciation to Dr. Thenuwan Wickramasinghe on behalf of GMOA and Shri. Thank you all for your participation. And here we are signing off today. Have a good day and stay safe and stay healthy.